Guys, obviously a loss tonight, but a different feeling around the ground to the last couple of losses that we've had here. A bit more excitement, a bit more energy. Obviously, a pretty reasonably packed ground today. From the point of view from the dugout, how did you feel it went?
I think it went well. I know it's difficult to say when we've got beat 3, but we set them up to be relatively defensive. We wanted our wing backs to play narrow and deeper than what we'd normally like them to play. Try and force them down the outsides, which I think we did really well for a large period of the game. I think in truth we've had the better chances first half. First 10 minutes we probably could have had a couple. Then OC's had another chance just before half time. I think if we go in 1-1, it might be a bit of a different game, or if we take the lead. But it's always going to be difficult. Look, they're a Premier League under 23 side. They've got 3 or 4 started the game that have either played in the Prem or been on the bench in the Prem. So it's always going to be a big ask, especially on there. Obviously it's the biggest the pitch can be, and it's a 4G. And we said when we got here, the worst thing that could have happened for us today is that it rained, because then it just zips. And the ball just zips here, there and everywhere. And if you can get them, we did it, if you can get them on a Carlton's pitch, you've got a chance. Because obviously it's honking, so it gives you a little bit of a chance. Whereas on there, with these facilities and the pitch that we've got here, you haven't got a leveller. So you've got to go and try and set yourself up to frustrate them a little bit. You can't say, well, we'll frustrate them and wait for them to make a mistake, because they don't. In possession, they don't give the ball away. They move the ball very well and very, very quickly. So it all came down to how we do with it tactically. And like I say, if we take our chances, we're still here saying we've done the perfect game plan. But they've had 4 chances, scored 3, and Willows brought off a worldie to tip it onto the post. So yeah, I was really happy with the boys. A good reaction from Saturday. And we said that at the end there. If we could have had that performance Saturday, we'd have run away with the game. But that's football sometimes, and it always helps if, like say, under the floodlights and you've got a big crowd tonight. So I think we've equipped ourselves really well. I think we've put on a bit of a show and shown what we can do. It's another, we said at the end, it's frustrating again, because we've shown what we can do in contrast to Saturday. So I think it sums up our season a little bit, if I'm honest.
Obviously, like you say, positive signs in the game. We've got 4 games left, 2 here at home in the league. Do you see this being the building blocks to end the season on a more of a high?
Yes, and that's the minimum expectation. You know, we spoke after the Hucknall defeat, and you know we had a lengthy chat as a management team and myself and Wally, and we sort of, you know, realistically the playoffs were done a month ago. You know, we're always playing catch up, relying on other resources that got taken out of our hands. But you know, a big part of between now and the end of the season is who wants to be with us next year. You know, if we're being brutally honest with you, you know, we looked at, you know, we're already looking at recruitment and who players we want to target for next season. But then we get a performance like Saturday against Pinchbet, it's totally unacceptable. And then it's kind of like we're scratching our heads again, going, well, do we need to rip it all up and go again? So you know, we did have a chat with the lads after the game, and that was not home truths, but we need to, if we're gonna be successful, we need to have more consistency in energy levels and desire as we had tonight. Because if we show that level of commitment for 95% of our games, we're a hell of a side. But the second half of the season has been disappointing for us because it's been so inconsistent. It's been up and down, which is frustrating for us, because we look at personnel, we look at formations, tactics, but you know, the lads have got to take the main bulk of the responsibility. We can only prepare them for games. They've got to then go and deliver. And you know, Forrester, like you said, a Premier League outfit. We were coming as underdogs. You know, as Martin said. So I don't like what Martin was. So, you know, we was part of a Carlton side that beat Forest at Carlton 2-3 years ago. And to be fair to Tom and Mark, they set us up well, and we just kind of played for set pieces, and it worked. Because the pitch isn't the greatest, but you know it's always going to be a tough ask. But being on a 4G, you know, I did kind of felt sorry for the lads last 10. You know, they literally gave everything and they ran out, and they bought 3 or 4 lads on that could do 100 metres in 10 seconds. So yeah, it's football. We've had a good cup run. Disappointed not to get to the final, but proud of the run that we have done. You know, it's our first full season. You know, we're sixth in the league, got to the semi-finals of the Not Senior Cup. So, you know, it's all tears and nightmares. You know, that's how some people look at it. It's disappointing not to get in the playoffs, but you know, we finished 4th and 5th on bottom last season. So that's perspective, and that's a bigger picture. We're progressed from last year, which we should do. You know, we've got a better budget to go and attract better players. So it's something that we need to build on. You know, that's something that me and him will always want to do. We'll always want to improve from, you know, year on year. So we've got questions that we'll question the lads over the next 4 games. What we're gonna get out of them, and that will ultimately decide where we want to go moving forward.
And is there going to be some experimenting, some new players, not new signings necessarily, but players that haven't played so much that might slot in now and get a few minutes? And
we've just spoke to Klaus then, actually the under-16s manager. So there's a few in there that we want to have a look at that are 16 now, so they can sign first team form. So we'll get them on a form this week. And that's the thing. The future of the club's in good hands. It's very bright, but that's on us to then go and try and give them a chance. It's difficult. I know it's easy to say, well, just throw the kids in, but you don't want to ruin them too early. I think tonight we've had Hodgie and Isaac go on for the second half at 16 and 17. 17 today for Isaac. So yeah, we'll put our trust in the lads, but it's a balancing act for me and him, because the worst thing we want to do is throw them in and they just get buried in a horrible UCL game. So it is a balancing act. We will look at it and we'll try and get them some minutes over the next few weeks, but we need to do it intelligently, I think, and look at who they play next to and all those different little nuances that will come along with it. But yeah, we'll be looking at a few different things, and yeah, we'll start of, I know it's the old cliche, but I think next season kind of starts now for me and him, and we have a look at where we go from here.
Fantastic. And finally, exit of the semi-final of this cup competition. Next season, going to the final, winning it.
Listen, we go into every game trying to win it, and that won't change. That's how we're built. And you know, we set a target of getting to the semi-finals, which we've reached. We've just come a little bit short this year, and that's no disgrace. You know, at step 5, we've been beat by Nottingham Forest. So yeah, we'll try our hardest again. Try and have a good cup run. Hopefully get to a final. Try and win something.
Head held high. Thanks very much, guys.
Cheers, guys.